Bitcoin is at crossroad. If you have seen my last video, this was the trade that I shared with you guys. That must have resulted in 3.4%, right? How exactly I calculate this trade, I'm going to show to you guys later on. But what's critical at this stage is where Bitcoin is currently at. And that's the analysis I'm going to share it with you guys so you guys understand where the market is going to go next, right? So if you were to notice, I've shared this long trade with you guys in my last video and I told you to come out of it. And if you notice, market came exactly at the same level, right? So it's currently at the same level, even though there is a liquidation wick on the top. But that's exactly what I told you. This would be the perfect area for you to come out of the trade. And this is exactly where the Bitcoin is at. Some of the candles that I'm looking at right now is pretty amazing. There are some of the good candles that I'm seeing at the moment, but don't get fooled by these analysis, right? So let me get rid of some of these things so that you guys can understand what exactly is going on. So if I were to come to on a daily time frame, right? If I were to mark some of the areas, and like I say, these are some of the areas that I'm gonna mark, right, with you guys, so you guys understand. This is my area of supply currently on a daily time frame basis, right? So this is the upside. When the even if the Bitcoin is going to go to this level, I'm going to short it for sure, right? Based on, like I say, some of the candles I'm seeing, market looks pretty, uh, seems like it's recovering. But I think the analysis would explain in the end, right? You would notice where exactly the market is going to go next, right? So bear with me for a second so that I can mark my range high, range low. I'm gonna mark my mid range, which is what I'm gonna do here, right? So let me mark some of the ranges so it's easier for me to explain it to you guys. So I'm gonna mark my mid range and I'm gonna get rid of this guy. Now I'm gonna come back to 4 hour time frame because in my previous video I've explained it to you guys many times, right, where exactly the market was going. If you were to notice, right, on a 4 hour time frame, and that was critical at that time, which is why I told you the market is going to come back down to the lower range, right, which is exactly what market has done. So if you were to notice, this was our support line, which market broke it down to the, and we saw a broke down, right? And that's market was currently at that stage when I told you exactly like market is going to come down from this area. And if I were to mark my supply zone again, right? So this was the supply zone that I explained to you guys last time. Hey, this guy is my supply zone, and this is where currently market is at the moment. But the crucial stage for me, right, the critical point for me is the breakdown. So I told you I saw a market shift from here, and which is the reason why I told you last time in my previous video, if you had noticed that, let me bring in this guy here. So this is where I saw my market structure change, right? So I saw my structure shift. From here, I told you exactly market's gonna come down and we are gonna see the market to come down to this level. And I told you guys to come back up because this is exactly a support, right? This is a support at the bottom. 1, 2, it has been hit by many times, but the even though market is going to go up from this level in the next resistance, right? Let's say some of the candles that I'm seeing at the moment are pretty good, right? I can see a bullish candle, but if you were to notice, this resistance is pretty much heavy at the moment because currently market has bounced back from this area. Like I would say this is, yeah, exactly the support. Once, twice, third time, and market is visiting this area 4 times as well. And eventually market is going to crash because what you might see is a liquidation wick somewhere around like $69,000 at the moment. And from there, if I were to take a trade, I'm not going to go long from there. I'm going to go in fact short from there as well. So my personal trade that I'm going to trade, and that's totally up to you, right? If you guys want to follow or whatever, this would be my personal trade that I'm looking forward to. My target area would be this guy. And again, if you have seen my previous video or previous analysis, which is where I told you, like the way I trade in pairs of two, right? So my first trade would be this guy. My second trade would be the higher target, right? Which is because, like I said to you as well, let me share the targets with you, for example. Because what happened is, if you had noticed, I have told you in the previous video as well, one of the previous video, that there's a liquidation that hasn't been swept at the bottom. and this is my liquidation target, and I would see market going down to this level, and eventually, in fact, if you were to ask my honest opinion, man, if I were to let this trade run, there is a liquidation sitting here as well at this area. So if I were to see the market from here, if I were to see the market, my target would be, first trade target would be this guy, second trade target would be the lower area that I should just share it with you guys. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up, so that and do let me know your comments as well, so that I can do the analysis in detail in English as well as in Hindi or Urdu as well. Whatever you guys are comfortable with, that's something I can do the analysis for you guys. Hope to see you in the next video.